All right, let's now shift our attention to what is in fact playing out between the United States and the United Kingdom. It's, of course, a bit of embarrassment for both the governments, as there's been a leak in terms of the memos that have been exchanged between the United Kingdom's ambassador to the United States, and these leaked memos have now surfaced online. Now, in a series of memos that have been described as explosive to 10 Downing Street by the British ambassador to Washington, Sir Kim Darroch, has described Donald Trump, there's the US president, as incompetent, inept and insecure. Now, Kim Darroch, who is of course Britain's ambassador to the United States, used certain secret cables and briefing notes to question the US president and his administration. These are secret cables that have now been made public, and in the diplomatic memos that have been obtained by the mail, Sir Kim Darroch has hit out at the Trump administration and also the bitter scandals plaguing the White House. The memos have touched upon the US's ties with Russia and the ongoing tensions with Iran. It's also lashed out at Trump's economic policies as well. The memos further went on to attack Donald Trump personally, warning that the 73-year-old president's career could in fact, quote-unquote, end in disgrace. Now, Sir Kim Darroch has also given a scathing assessment of the White House, saying, and I quote, "We don't really believe this administration is going to become substantially more normal, less dysfunctional, less unpredictable, less faction-ridden, less diplomatically clumsy and inept." He also questioned whether this White House will ever look competent. Now, referring to the allegations of collusion between the Trump camp and Russia, the memo stated the worst cannot be ruled out. Now, in one of his most recent documents, Sir Kim Darroch also refers to the incoherent US policy on Iran. He also questioned Trump's publicly stated reason for calling off a retaliatory airstrike against Tehran following the downing of an American drone. Now, he said that it's unlikely that the US policy on Iran is going to become more coherent anytime soon. This is a divided administration. Now, Sir Kim Darroch also claimed that Trump's economic policies could actually wreck the world trade system. Now, the memo further states, and I quote here, "America First administration could actually do some profoundly damaging things to the world system." Now, the memo also stated that the differences between the United States and the United Kingdom on climate change, on the freedom of media, and also the death penalty might come to the fore as the countries seek to improve on their trade relations after Brexit. Now, the top diplomat has also suggested a mantra in order to communicate with the US president. He said, and I quote, "You need to make your points simple, even blunt." Now, the document details Sir Kim Darroch's judgments on the Trump administration from 2017 up until now, and could prove to be highly embarrassing for the British Foreign Office. However, UK's embassy in Washington has said that they have strong relationship with the White House and that London and Washington enjoy a special relationship, and these mischievous leaks in terms of what Britain's ambassador to the United States thinks is not likely to impact the relationship between the two countries. All right, now the notorious Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is in prison, but the United States is not done with him, not just yet. The U.S. authorities have said that they are seeking a court order requiring El Chapo to forfeit as much as about $12.7 billion. And this follows El Chapo's conviction for racketeering and drug trafficking crimes earlier this year. So how did the U.S. authorities come to the figure of $12.7 billion? Now, the sum represents the total amount of cocaine, marijuana and heroin that a jury had found Guzman to have trafficked, multiplied by the average prices of those drugs. Now, it was not immediately clear as to what assets, if any, the United States can actually seize to satisfy the judgment. Now, earlier this year, on the 12th of February, Guzman was convicted on all 10 counts. He faced El Chapo, who now faces a life term in prison at his scheduled 17th of July sentencing. Now, Guzman made a name for himself in the 1980s by building cross-border tunnels that allowed him to move cocaine from Mexico into the United States faster than anyone else. He spent much of his career on the run, moving from one hideout to another in the mountains of Sinaloa, guarded by a private army. He even managed to escape twice from maximum security prisons in Mexico. El Chapo was finally captured in January 2016 and extradited to the United States to face trial.